Hi, this is Heather with iTherapy. I'm going to be showing you iTherapy's online scheduling platform. It is secure video, which is HIPAA compliant, and it utilizes Zoom. So let's get started. When you first log in, you're going to get a screen that looks very similar to this. The only difference is it's going to have your name here. You're going to notice a new session now, new scheduled session, and orientation session. New session now is immediate. New scheduled sessions in the future, and orientation session is actually for you as a provider with a secure video rep, which I'll go over in just a second. Let's go ahead and schedule a new session now, an immediate session. I'm going to put my client's name, email, or I can send a text invite with a cell phone number. It has to be either or. I'm going to select the time zone my client is in and click Save. What this did is send an email for John to join the session. It sent you an email as a provider that you scheduled a session, and it stored John Doe's information for a future appointment. Before I go over the features, let's go ahead and show you the new scheduled session. You're going to select a date and time. And notice here, time ET, Eastern Time. You're going to schedule the appointment based on your time zone. As I know some of you are licensed in different states, the initial screen is based on your time zone, because the next screen you're going to select your client's time zone and it's going to be doing the math for you. So again, schedule a session is based on your time zone. You're going to select your client's name. Again, email invite or text invite, their time zone, and save. And there you have it. You have an immediate session and you have a scheduled session. Now the only difference is that you're probably going to want an RSVP or a confirmed appointment for the one in the future. The client was sent an email to confirm. What that's going to do is that they're actually going to select yes or no to confirm their appointment. When they select yes, you'll get an indicator, either an email that says it's confirmed, and if you log into the system, you'll see that they confirmed here. RSVP confirmed. Notice the difference. No RSVP, RSVP confirmed. Now let's go over some of these features before we get into the video portion. You can add participants either now or on the fly. Again, select email or text invite, that client's time zone, and click Save. You can actually add up to 100 participants. Yes, I said that correctly. Up to 100 participants in each session, and you have unlimited sessions in the month. You have the Meet Now. Again, you can add participants now or during the session. Start chat. Now that's actually becoming more popular. This can be used for a couple of things. If John and Sally don't feel comfortable, or maybe they're not in a secure area where they have an option to use the video, you can actually start a chat. You select Start Chat. Hello, John and Sally. And either click Send or hit Return. It actually sent a link to John and Sally. They can actually chat back. I do want to point out that the chats are only for 24 hours. After 24 hours, Secure Video has to wipe it clean. That makes it HIPAA compliant. Again, you can do a chat session. What I think is actually a really good feature of this you can utilize is, let's say you're close to Heather demo. Let's say the appointment's late in a few minutes and you're running late. You can actually click that client, tell them you're running late. That way, if you're running late with one session, the next session knows you're just right around the corner. To get back to the video session, you can just click back, and it takes you back to your video sessions. Manage right here. You can actually reschedule, cancel, or schedule next. And what's really great about these options right here for a group session is it does it for everybody once you reschedule, cancel, or schedule next. So if they're in different time zones or you have a lot of people in a group session, that can save you a lot of time. You just have to set up the initial group session and then the system does it for you the next time. I'll show you. Schedule next. And there you have it. There was the meet now, and it's scheduled next for both John and Sally in just a couple of steps. So you don't have to keep on adding for future group appointments. But you can add on the fly, just like this. Now, you'll also notice session notes. You can click session notes and type little reminders for yourself. Sent John worksheet. And click save. It actually kept some notes in here. Now what's good about this is that it gives you some history. This is not your progress notes. This progress notes is going to be your notes and client management platform. Again, these are just little reminders or things that you may need to remind yourself to put in your notes and client managements that are, maybe a little bit more sensitive, or you can just put little reminders for yourself of why something happened. Maybe John was late, or Sally was added on the fly. You can add those notes. And again, you can manage them and it keeps history. You may notice add to calendar. Now this is the elephant in the room. You can add this to an external calendar. We do not, I repeat, do not recommend this because you can export this to a non-HIPAA compliant calendar and then we are not responsible for that. So you want to keep this in a HIPAA compliant platform. Also, if you have a notes and client management system, more than likely you're going to be putting all your appointments in there anyways. So I would just avoid this add to calendar. I just wanted to point it out because it is there. Enable dial-in. Now let's say your clients cannot join video-wise or chat-wise. They want to be able to call into the system. Actually, they got in their email an enable dial-in option at that point too. But you can also enable dial-in on the fly. Let's say they're calling you, say, hey, I cannot join the system. Can I actually call in? You can. By clicking the enable dial-in, it gives you a code right here. This is the phone number that they'll call into. That's universal, that's across the board, the same phone number you always give them. But this is a unique code. That's what makes it HIPAA compliant. It's unique to this session. So not anybody can just dial into the session. They have to have this code. So again, you start chat if you need that. You have your manage. You have your session notes. Again, these are not your progress notes. Your add to calendar, which we don't recommend, but you can utilize. And enable dial-in for any phone sessions. So let's go ahead and go over going into the video. So you notice you'll have these right here. I'm going to select the Heather demo. You'll notice that when someone joins the waiting room, like I said before, you'll get a reminder, you'll get an email, and also you'll get an indicator here saying that's in the waiting room. Now, when they join the session or they entered the waiting room, it did not start the session until you actually hit enter meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and enter meeting. It may ask you some questions based on your computer setup. I'm going to join with my computer audio. And then I'm going to click Start Video. That's how I have my system set up. If you see any red lines through these two, you're on mute or you don't have your video hooked up. So you need to click that, and that starts your video. So when you click the Enter Meeting button, it'll prompt you for some screens based on your computer setup. For me, I have the system asking me for my audio. So I'm going to join with my computer audio. And I also have it to default by turning off my video. So if you see any two red lines through the mute or the start video, that means you are on mute, and that means your video has not started. So you want to check or click the Start Video button. Now at first you're going to get a screen with you, but as soon as your client joins, just like that, their screen will come up and then you will fall into a smaller screen above. They will appear here. If they're actually on a phone conference, it'll be a phone icon here, or if they have their video turned off, it'll look just like this. So let's go over some of the features. On the very bottom, you'll see Manage Participants. That means that's how many participants are in the system. You can actually stop their video and put them on mute. You can actually start a chat. See, you can actually start with everyone. Hello, everyone. And I'll send a chat to everyone. If you need to send it to an individual person, you click the blue button. Gives you an option, private chat. And you'll notice that you can send a private chat. Just make sure you pick the right person that you're trying to chat privately. You'll notice a record button. Now that's not going to be there when you get your login. Since I'm in demo mode, it has a record button. You will not, I repeat, not have that when you're login. In order to be HIPAA compliant, you cannot record the sessions and they cannot record yours. Just like the chat, it'll be wiped out after 24 hours. The video cannot be recorded either. You'll notice up here in the upper right hand corner, the gallery view. You can click the gallery view and it'll change your view. You can exit full screen. You can actually go back to gallery view and you can actually hide yourself. If you want to hide yourself view, you can only see your client, which may be good. I know some therapists get distracted by seeing themselves talk. So you can actually use that option for show self view or hide self view. Let's go back to speaker view. Again, you'll appear on top and they'll be the main screen. And depending on how many participants you have, they'll be shifted around. If you want to get rid of the chat window, just click the chat button and it'll get rid of the window. If you want to share, you can actually share documents. This is a really cool feature. So if you need to share your desktop, which we don't recommend, or if you have a document opened, you can share a document. You can share a browser. But there's this really cool feature called a whiteboard. If you select whiteboard, you can actually participate with your clients. They will see this drawing. This may be helpful if you want to do an icebreaker or if you have any children you want to do therapy with. Your clients will be able to interact with that. How they'll be able to do that is that actually they're going to go up to the top of their screen. They're going to see view options. They're going to select annotate, and then they're going to be able to interact with you. So let's go ahead and stop sharing there. Oh, before I stop sharing, let me point out this right here, this save. If you want to save this, you can actually download this to your computer and then upload it to your notes and client management. This may be helpful if you want to see a progress with somebody, or maybe it's an impact on their therapy. So you can save this and then upload it to your notes and client management. Again, it was share. We don't recommend desktop because that'll share everything. If you have a document open like a worksheet, that'll be shown here. Or you can share a browser. If you need to leave the meeting, you just click End Meeting. For your clients, they'll have Leave Meeting. Let's go ahead and end the meeting now. You can either leave or end it for all. It just depends on your scenario. And now you're back to your original screen. Again, this was a Meet Now. This was a scheduled session. And this was actually a scheduled next session for John and Sally from the Meet Now. Let me go ahead and address the orientation session. Now, this is actually something you can utilize if we are not available for you to bounce some questions off of, or if you want to bounce some questions off of a secure video rep, you can. You can request an orientation with them, 15 to 30 minutes. They are on Pacific time, and the earliest that they will schedule something is 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. But you can schedule a session with them if we're not available. What's really great about Secure Video is that they actually have 24 hours, 365 days support. So if you have any technical questions in the middle of the night, call them. You actually have a support button down the bottom right. You have a support button on the top that indicates their phone number and their email. You also have some documents here. So there's some frequently asked documents that they provide, or you can search articles. Again, this is both for PCs and Macs they have information for. Nice little thing about the 24/7 is if you do have late sessions, and let's say your clients are having some technical difficulties with their camera, you can give them the 888 number to Secure Video. Then they can log in onto their computer and help them get through any troubles. Up here on top, you'll see some features and a silhouette. This is going to be you. This is going to have your name here, which this is where you need to change your email address if you want to, the phone number or the time zone that you're in, and also changing your password. You'll have your contacts. Again, this is where everything was stored. Your settings. You can choose receive text messages when session participant is entering the waiting room. You can receive an email notification for different scenarios. So again, we leave these as default, but you want to go in here and select the ones that you like. You can. There are some additional options here. You have features, which you can have show your session notes. So if you do need to get back to them, you can. Here's your manage. We went over that earlier. You want to select your silhouette, which will have your name there. This will have your name, your email, the time zone that you're in, your phone number, so you can adjust those accordingly, and change your password. You'll also have your calendar, but again, more than likely you're going to be in your notes and client management platform if you have it. If not, you can select calendar and it'll list the calendar of your appointments. Settings, you're going to want to review this because it'll tell you if you want to receive a text or email notifications for different scenarios. Reports, you can run reports on session usage and geolocation. Again, go back to video conference, and these are your dashboard. Again, your daily or monthly appointments. So that's pretty much it. You can schedule a session immediate. You can have one in the future. You have your options of starting a chat or a phone in, managing, which is your rescheduling, cancel, and schedule next. The calendar that we don't recommend, but you can utilize. The session notes, which is not your progress notes, but these are reminders. You also have indicators of them confirming and being in the waiting room. You can have history on that client, send them a reminder, remove a client, or you can edit their information, either here or in the contacts. You have an orientation for you if you want to schedule an orientation session with a Secure Video representative. And you have support. Again, 24 hours, 365 days a year support from Secure Video. And that's it. Congratulations. You now know about Secure Video and scheduling sessions.